The ring was a surprise. A perfect, clear diamond caught the last rays of the setting sun. He held it out to her, hands trembling. They stood at their favorite overlook, the city sprawling below. The air was cool, scented with pine and earth. This was the moment she dreamed of. She saw their future in his hopeful eyes. A house, a garden, laughter. Her heart swelled, tears of joy blurring her vision. She nodded, unable to speak. He slid the ring onto her finger. A perfect fit. It was a promise, a symbol of everything they'd built and everything to come. They held each other as city lights flickered on below. She felt safe, loved, finally home. He spoke of waking up together, of traveling to Italy for their honeymoon. She listened, memorizing every detail, wanting to remember this forever. The wind played with her hair, his hand warm in hers, the ring heavy and real. This was the first day of the rest of their lives. They left the overlook as darkness settled, hand in hand. The world felt brighter, full of possibility. She kept glancing at her hand, the diamond sparkling, a reminder she was now his fiancée. The thought sent a shiver of joy through her. She believed in their love story. Simple, true, two people who chose each other. She had no idea how fragile that belief was. She had no idea their story was about to change. The city below glimmered, unaware. Their forever had just begun, or so she thought. The night air was filled with hope, but hope can be fragile. The celebration was intimate, just the two of them at their favorite Italian restaurant. She couldn't stop smiling, showing the ring to the waitress who cheered. They toasted with champagne, the bubbles sparkling like her happiness. But as the evening wore on, she noticed a shift in him. His laughter faded quickly, his eyes drifting away. He checked his phone, placing it face down with care. She tried to ignore it, blaming nerves and wedding plans. They talked about calling their families, but he seemed distracted. He picked up his phone, locked and unlocked it, claiming to check the time. A cold feeling crept in, a shadow over her joy. Back at their apartment, the feeling grew. He suggested a movie, filling the silence. She curled up beside him, admiring her ring in the TV's glow. She wanted to feel only happiness, but the shadow lingered in the quiet corners of the room. She told herself it was nothing, but sometimes, nothing is the start of everything. The night felt different, uncertain. The celebration was tinged with doubt. He fell asleep before the movie ended. She watched him, his face peaceful, her worries fading, until his phone lit up. Curiosity tugged at her. She told herself not to look, but the unease was too strong. She turned the phone over. A message from his ex-girlfriend glowed on the screen. "I'm glad you called. I'll always be here for you." Her heart stopped. He had promised that chapter was closed. She unlocked his phone, hands shaking. There it was, a conversation, a call log. He'd called his ex that afternoon, right after proposing. The perfect moment at the overlook shattered. The diamond felt cold, foreign. The day felt like a lie. He had shared their most important moment with someone else. The joy was gone, replaced by a hollow ache. She sat on the floor, the phone in her hand, her heart breaking. The room was silent except for the sound of her world falling apart. She stared at the messages, searching for an explanation. But the truth was clear. The trust was broken. The future she saw in his eyes was suddenly uncertain. She felt alone, betrayed. The night that began with a promise ended in heartbreak. The diamond sparkled, but it no longer meant forever. She realized love can shatter in a single moment. The silence was heavy. She was left with questions and pain. She didn't know how long she sat there. Finally, she woke him, her voice sharp and trembling. He saw the phone in her hand, the tears on her face. "Why did you call her? Today, of all days?" He stammered, claiming it was for closure, to end his past before starting their future. "I needed to hear myself say it was over," he insisted. His words sounded hollow. She listened but didn't believe him. You shared our moment with her. That's not closure. That's betrayal. He begged her to understand, to forgive. But trust, once broken, is hard to repair. She looked at the man she'd promised to marry and saw a stranger. The person she loved wouldn't have done this. The room felt colder, the distance between them growing. She realized some wounds can't be explained away. She needed honesty, not secrets. The night stretched on, filled with words that couldn't fix what was broken. She felt the weight of the ring, the weight of his choices. The promise of forever was slipping away. She wondered if love could survive this. The silence between them was louder than any argument. She knew things would never be the same. The foundation of their future had cracked. She needed to decide if it could ever be rebuilt. The night ended with no answers, only pain. She was left with a choice. Sometimes love isn't enough. Morning brought no comfort. They hadn't slept, words circling all night. She packed a small bag, unable to stay. He pleaded, but she couldn't trust him. The ring felt like a lie. She left it on the table, beside the empty champagne glasses. I can't marry someone I don't trust, she said, voice steady. Leaving was agony, but staying was impossible. She stayed with a friend, ignoring his desperate messages. She replayed the proposal, the distracted glances, the glowing phone. The signs had been there. She'd wanted the fairy tale, but reality was different. The foundation was cracked, the trust gone. A marriage without trust is just a house built on sand. She faced the truth. The promise had unraveled. The fairy tale was over. She had to let go. Sometimes love means walking away. A week later, she returned to pack her things. The apartment was silent, filled with echoes of what was lost. Each object was a memory, painful, bittersweet. She found his phone, left behind. She read the messages again, needing to understand. I did it, he'd written to his ex, but I had to call you. I'm thinking of you. It wasn't closure. It was a secret, a connection he couldn't let go. Betrayal isn't always physical. Sometimes it's a hidden conversation. She realized she deserved honesty, a love that didn't look back. She finished packing, a strange peace settling over her. The pain lingered, but she knew she'd made the right choice. She couldn't build a life on lies. She took one last look around, closed the door, and walked away. The echoes faded behind her. She was free to start anew. The empty room was a reminder, endings can be beginnings. She carried only what mattered, her dignity, her hope. The past was behind her. The future was hers to create. She didn't look back. Some days are meant to be sacred, milestones we build our lives around. We expect our partners to honor these days, to be fully present. On these days, trust should be absolute. But he broke that trust, reaching into his past on the day he promised her forever. His secret call was a crack in their foundation. She realized the betrayal wasn't just the call, but the secrecy and timing. She couldn't spend her life wondering if she was truly his first choice. Some actions, on some days, are too damaging to forgive. The question remains, can you ever truly trust again after such a betrayal? Can an apology erase the memory? Or are some cracks too deep to mend? Sometimes, the only way forward is to walk away and start anew. Sacred days deserve sacred trust, and she chose herself.